I've helped nearly 100 7, 8, and 9-figure Shopify brands generate over $55 million in sales with SEO. And almost all of them started with the wrong idea of what SEO actually is. So today I'm breaking it down into a simple step-by-step framework that you can apply immediately. No fluff, no outdated tactics. This isn't a short video, and it's not a video full of things you already know. If you're serious about scaling your Shopify brand and you don't want to keep leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table every single year, you're going to want to watch this all the way through. Because over the last 2 years, I've made page one rankings repeatable by following these 5 steps in a very specific order. So let's start with step 1, using AI to rank Shopify collection pages on Google.
Everyone talks about collection pages being king in Shopify SEO, but nobody actually shows you how to build AI-optimized collection pages that rank number one on Google and make money. So today I'm going to give you the exact playbook we use to build, edit, upload, and optimize collection pages at scale using AI at our agency. This is the same workflow we run for our clients at New Seas: keyword research, Google Sheets automation, bulk content generation, internal linking strategy, bulk Shopify uploading and publishing, indexing, the whole thing. By the end of this video, you're going to know the full system we use for our clients. How to find your keywords, how to build 50 to 100 plus AI optimized collection pages that are primed to rank number one on Google in a matter of minutes. I'm going to show you how to structure them and how to optimize them over time so that they keep printing cash for your Shopify brand. So let's start first with what a winning Shopify collection page actually looks like. Number one ranking Shopify collection pages can technically come in all shapes and sizes, but we've ranked a little over 3,000 total collection pages for our clients using this exact format. So I'm going to break that down for you. Now, if you haven't noticed, you need content on your page. That is the first and foremost thing. This looks probably a lot different than your current collection page. Now, what we like to do is H1 target keyword at the top, short description, less than 75 words. You are literally just introing the collection. Do not write a lot of copy. 2 sentences max. 75 words is honestly probably too long. It could probably be like 35, 40 words. We usually aim for less than 2 sentences here. Target keyword needs to be in the first sentence. Simple as that. Product grid. Pretty straightforward stuff. You don't need to think about that. That's done for you. H2 should include the target keyword in some capacity, okay? I'm going to do an example later on where I have actually show you how to find keywords in SEMrush and then build those collection pages out, optimize copy for those collections. I built it using an imaginary watch brand that ChatGPT helped me create, okay? Let's say my target keyword is waterproof men's watches, which is an example I'm actually going to use later in this video. The H2 will be something like waterproof watches for men, just the inverse of that target keyword. H3 will be pretty much there. We use 3 H3s. Each one is one of 3 of the biggest unique selling or most unique selling points within that collection. Okay. If I'm a watch company, some of the H3s may overlap because my unique selling points will be for this imaginary brand. They're all going to be waterproof. Okay. So that will be a consistent unique selling point throughout. Men's waterproof watches, men's running watches, men's work watches, all that kind of stuff. But for other things, like I'm going to tailor those H3s for the running and work watches specifically to the running and work related searchers. Okay, something to think about. And we're going to show you I'm going to show you what the copy looks like later in this video and why it does that and why it makes sense. We also use internal links. So let's say I'm on the men's waterproof watch collection, shopping similar collections. I would link to something like the men's running watches, the men's work watches, the men's smart watches, if I end up selling smart watches in this imaginary brand. Okay. Internal links we're going to talk about. We just kind of really talked about it. Descriptive text, we use AI. I'm going to show you what that content looks like and how to prompt it. And it should be similar in nature to other collections. And also the structure of the page should be similar to other collections. The content we're going to create later in this video is going to look all the same. Very similar word count within plus or minus like 25, 50 words. Same amount of headings, same amount of internal links. All the pages are going to look the same. So don't get creative, okay? Stick to the plan. Key points on this, and we're going to recap these as we go. Why even add content in the first place? Your competitors don't have content on their collection pages. Why should I? Well, they rank number one and you don't. Content bridges the authority gap between you and the brands that currently rank number one. Technically, there are 2 ways to improve your ranking on Google. More authority, better relevance. You currently lack the authority, and that costs money with link building. Relevance piece you can solve very quickly. The more relevant you make your page by adding content, the better Google views it, the higher it ranks. If you add content, your rankings will go up if you currently don't have any. I guarantee that. Once you add authority on top, you will then rank number one. Content position on page. You'll notice I had the text split above and below. 50 to 75 words up top, the rest down below. The rest down below is like 300, 400, 500 words, depending. higher position on page is perceived as more valuable for SEO. So yes, technically you could put all the copy at the bottom. It's going to be slightly less beneficial to SEO to do that. You could also put it at the top, all 400 or 500 words at the top, but that's going to be terrible UX. Best option is to split the text 20/80. Optional, you could wrap the bottom text in a read more accordion. So instead of having just text showing up below the product grid, you could put like an expandable accordion type thing. It just says learn more, read more about this, whatever. It could expand and show all the copy. Google can crawl that the same. Click depth. Not every collection you add needs to be in the main navigation. We're going to create 30, 40, 50 collections later in this video. I'm not going to add them all to my main navigation. That'd be insane. It'd be way too big. But it also can't be hidden on your site. I've had people ask me in DMs. I've had clients ask me, prospects ask me, like, "Oh, this page is going to be hidden, right?" If we wanted to hide it, we wouldn't make any money. Okay, it can't be hidden. It's going to be internally linked. It's not going to be front and center on your homepage, your main menu, but it is going to be visible and it's going to be internally linked because otherwise it won't rank. It also is going to need to be within 2 to 3 clicks of the homepage. The closer to the homepage, the better. So remember to prioritize some collections over others, right? I mentioned already this men's waterproof watch brand I'm going to imaginarily build in this video. I want to rank number 1 for men's waterproof watches because that's the biggest keyword that I can think of currently off the top of my head. So that one is going to be my main navigation, right? But something like men's work watches may be lower volume, and I'm not as interested in ranking for that, or it's not as high priority, and I want to use other keywords in front of it in the main menu. So I'll just internally link to the men's work watches so that I can rank it, but it's not going to take up space in the main menu. Okay, we're going to talk about this later on, so don't sweat it. Internal links. Internal links you have to use to help overcome kind of the lack of mega menu that you're not building and the click depth issue. Internal links help keep pages with that 2 to 3 clicks from the homepage, which helps them rank. You'll do it from similar collections. So as I showed you in the demo a second ago, waterproof watch will link to the work watch and the running watch collections, and vice versa in reverse, as well as from relevant blogs. Let's say I do like top 10 best waterproof watches. I'm gonna of course link to my collection. Okay. Next up here, determine your target keywords. So I'm gonna use SEMrush for this, and we're gonna do a live demo. So I'm gonna start with broadly men's watches because I said I'm gonna do waterproof. They're all gonna be waterproof in this imaginary tech that I'm gonna be building somehow. But men's watches is currently what I'm selling. I'm not selling to women. I'm not selling to kids, teenagers, men. Simple as that. I'm selling to myself. I'm going to show you the brand I built with ChatGPT in a second. Oh, this is it, and we'll talk through this later on. Basically, it's got to be, every watch is going to be waterproof, and it can be black, silver, or gold. And the price point will be between $200 and $1,000. So something to keep in mind, okay, as I go through this. So we've got a lot of keywords for a lot of men's watch keywords. Men's watches is 74K, 51 KD. Of course, that'd be great to rank for that keyword. So I will be targeting that one. Watches for men, this is probably going to be the exact same search result without looking. However, you could confirm by searching both keywords in like incognito search bars, and you could confirm if the search results are different. They're probably going to be the same, so you just need one page. You don't need to target men's watches for men with 2 separate pages. Rolex watch for men. I'm obviously not Rolex, nor am I selling Rolex watches, so this one won't matter to me. Where to watch men doesn't apply, okay? So there's a lot of keywords here. There's 185,000. That's an enormous list that I don't want to sort through. So I'm going to make this a lot easier on myself. Intent is going to be commercial, transactional. I don't care about informational. I don't care about navigational. That's going to go from 185 all the way down to 12.4K keywords. Substantial drop off, over 100, literally. Keyword difficulty. I'm going to say I'm a fairly new brand. Let's say I'll do $1 million this year, hypothetically, in this imaginary brand. Okay, I'm going to set a custom range. I'm going to do 1 because I don't trust the 0 here. I think it's they added like a lot of branded terms and zeros, and it makes it look weird. I'm going to set it to like 40. I'm going to set it to 40. If you're a bigger brand, 8, 9 figures, go nuts on the difficulty. You go after 80, 90. You got the budget, the resources, do that. Okay. But again, like average 7-figure brand, even high 6-figure, anything under 40 KD, you should be able to win with enough time and the right strategy. As you go up in revenue and size and SEO competence, you can of course increase its difficulty, but this is like the starting point. Okay. Keyword. Actually, yeah. We're gonna do men's watches here. Belova, Citizen, Movado, all branded, okay? Invicta, branded. Luxury. I said I'm selling at $200 to $1,000 for a watch. This is definitely on the very low end of watch pricing, so this is not gonna, this is gonna be off the hook. Gold watches. I said I would sell silver, black, and gold. This is on the list. Men's gold watches for men. These are the same, so I don't need them both. I like this formatting. Personal preference. I'm just gonna use that one. A lot of these are branded. Automatic. It will be automatic, or it could be automatic, so I'm gonna add that. Men's watches on sale. I will have a sale page, and it'll be optimized for men's watches on sale. It also would be prudent to add a Black Friday watch collection since I'm doing this on November 18th. Okay, so I've got 4 keywords, right? And I've scrolled past a lot of them. So I'm going to make this a hell of a lot easier myself. Again, we started with the filters, went from 100 something keywords down to like 12,000 or whatever. Probably even less once we got rid of, 11.4K after we added 2 sets of filters. Now, I don't want to sort through 11,500 keywords, so I'm just going to still be a little bit stricter, a lot stricter about this. Include keywords. Okay. I know I told you waterproof, and it's a waterproof watch brand, gold, silver, black colorways, price point between $200 and $1,000, which I'd say is low end, entry level point for watches, for men. You're probably not buying a Rolex your first time around. It's a couple thousand, upwards of a couple $100,000. You're probably gonna buy a nicer looking watch that you can dress up, but also wear around. For this brand, I was looking for something I could go surf, work out in, but also dress up with, a suit or whatever. Something, as I said, entry level. So that's kind of what I was building this around. So we're just gonna start adding keywords that need to be. This has to include these keywords. So again, I don't care about Rolex below us, so I'm not gonna add those. Any keywords so that you can get any of the matches here. Waterproof, which could cover like other things like shockproof or drop-proof or shatterproof, all these kinds of things. I'm trying to build a rugged watch. Fake brand here. Stick with me. Black, gold, silver, under, which will cover price point here. What else do I want? Run, work, exercise, workout. These aren't going to be smartwatches. I guess I can add automatic. What else can we do? All right, let's see what else we can add. Surf, snow, hike, hiking, hike. Actually, we should do hike, H-I-K. Climb, out for outdoors. Let's say GPS, maybe some have a GPS. All right, we're gonna start there. 2,200 keywords, okay, much better list here. All right, men's gold watch, men in black watch, not doing that. Automatic, black on black would be a good one. Black watches, which is different. These are different keywords. Men's silver metal watch. Men's, I think I already added automatic. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that. Men's silver watch. Already added automatic here somewhere. Yeah. Black and gold. Maybe I sell black and gold. I don't know. Watch under 100 for men. This won't fit me because I'm starting at $200. Automatic wristwatch. Great. That could be different than automatic. Let it check SERPs to confirm. I'm going to just take it off the list for now. Yellow gold diamond watches. I'm not selling diamonds under 1,000. Not going to happen. Rose gold. Could have some options for that. Under 500. Perfect. Real gold, again, not under 1,000, not a chance. 24 karat, obviously not a chance. Let's get to the waterproof one. That's what I really care about. All right, we're just gonna copy these and we're gonna put them in a spreadsheet. Okay, so I've got this spreadsheet we're gonna use as a demo here. Let's go back here, and then I want to go to waterproof because I'm curious about that. Water resistant. They're not even a proof here. Oh, waterproof. Waterproof and water resistant are technically 2 different things because, as we all know, Apple iPhones are somehow one but not the other. Okay, so waterproof. Let's see. Let me get rid of that. See what else we got. Resistance. So we can look through these like kind of other sub keywords here and see if there's anything that catches our attention. You can also remove filters once you've gotten a lot out of them. Like For example, like let's say I've got all the black, silver, gold ones out, hypothetically. And I just want to focus on kind of these other items, like these other people I'm targeting, people who are surfing, you know, swimming, whatever. I'm also going to get rid of 100 or under, excuse me. And we're just going to focus on kind of the use cases for the watches. Perfect. Okay. Running watches, work watches. I'm not doing ice style. That's not going to fit the brand I'm doing. Water resistant we already got. Watches for working men. That could be an interesting one. Surf watches. Golf GPS. That's one I did not expect to see come up. Okay. That's going to be enough. Okay, so let me copy these keywords over to here. That is keyword research. Okay. If you were a watch company, you'd be nearly done. Again, if I were actually doing this and not a YouTube video, I would exhaust every single keyword I could possibly find that would fit my ICP all the way down until I hit like 20 searches a month. I cut it off here at 110. I didn't even add all the filters I wanted to, but you would exhaust this all. Again, I've got, 15 for this demo? So good enough for now. All right, let's get back to this. Okay, to recap. Commercial transactional keywords only. That's it. Confirm this manually on SERPs, but if you're doing it in bulk, like let's say you're doing 100 keywords at a time, SEMrush it's okay, but I would manually confirm in search results to check the intent before you just rely on it blindly. Keyword difficulty to 40 or less. Again, the variable is difficulty is variable. You could set it to less, you could set it to higher. I'd say it depends on your SEO competence, your brand, things of that nature. Keywords that are actually relevant to your business. Let's say I already discarded a few watches or watch keywords. I'm selling at $200 to $1,000, so I shouldn't be targeting luxury watches because I'm not selling luxury watches. Same thing here. Don't build a luxury hot tub page if you sell $500 hot tubs. Use modifying terms to find as many long tail keywords as you can. For, sale, online, buy, under, men's, women's, kids, seniors, teens, gender, age, breakdowns like that. Silver, gold, red, black, any color you could think of. Small, medium, large, 2-person, 3-person, 4-person. This would be more prevalent to like clothing or hot tubs, for example, like the small, medium, large. Or 2-person, 3-person could apply to like tents, hot tubs, saunas, things like that. Also combine these terms. Example, you sell hoodies. You have a men's hoodie collection. You have a men's black hoodie collection. You should also have a medium black men's hoodie collection, okay? These are like a double combination of terms. For the watches, I could do like men's gold waterproof watches or men's silver waterproof watches, right? Think about that. Build them in bulk. Speed is going to be your best asset in SEO. Use it. It doesn't take 6 months to see results. It doesn't have to be perfect page before you hit publish. Just publish it and iterate on it later. So going back to this, we've got keywords. I'm going to copy them all into this thing, which is, misspelled this. Basically a template you can use to build collections in bulk. So I'm going to publish the keyword here. Men's gold watch, automatic watch for men. I just published every single keyword in here, okay? I'm going to go ahead and grab this brand name that Vantera is what ChatGPT invented for me. So vantera.com/collections/ we're just going to do gold. I'm only selling men's watches, so I don't need to add collection/men's gold watches. I'm trying to keep the URL simple so that I can build more collections later down the road and not overlap them. So this one can just be gold, okay? This one will be automatic, for example. Black. We'll just do black. I'm not going to deal with that. Okay. Brand information. I asked, this is what you want to put in this is your about page, or if you've got like a style guide, brand dossier, put that in here, or in this column, sorry, brand information, okay? What this is going to do is the prompt that we use is going to run, it's going to use your style guide in tandem with the target keyword collection prompt to make sure it uses the words you like and it speaks to the people you actually want to speak to, okay? If I don't add this brand information in, it's going to start writing copy like luxury watches. Well, I'm not selling to luxury watches, so that's obviously problematic, okay? The brand information helps keep the AI, OpenAI, on track when outputting the content, okay? Again, if you have a style guide, words you like to use, don't like to use, put that in there. You got an about page because you're lazy and you don't want to build a style guide dossier, that's fine. At Newsies, at our agency, we build style guides for all of our brands by scraping the content off their website, putting it into one mega document, or database really, and then pulling out like a 2,000 word style guide dossier, words to use, people to target, things like that. That's how we're able to build all of these kind of collection pages at scale. But again, for this video, I'm gonna use ChatGPT about page. So it created this, and I haven't even read it, quite frankly. I just told it what I wanted. Create a fake men's watch brand as an example. I told it price point. I told it who I'm modeling off, which is movement. Audience, I told it qualities of the watch I want to have. Surfing, diving is what I want to use it for. And then I think, yeah, primary colors be black, gold, and silver. Okay, and then it's got this about page. Then you're going to paste it in here and just drag it down. Okay, you would do this for literally every watch, every keyword you've got. Right, I've got 15, 16. I'm just gonna do it for the top 3 because that's what we're gonna do. Copy output, we don't have that yet. This is a collection page script. I am not sharing this with you. It is an early stage V1 of something we built over the last couple years or last couple months. It's about 2,400 words. Make your own. I'm not sharing this with you. It's proprietary at our agency. So that being said, you'll build your prompt. You will then you'll add the OpenAI extension or GPT for Sheets extension. You'll need an OpenAI API key for this. Okay, it'll open like this. You'll look for bulk AI tools, custom prompts, paste your whole prompt in. No, sorry. Paste your entire prompt in here. Put results in a column, copy output. And then you can change the model settings. Creative temperature, I set not to 0 or to 1, because if you set it to 1, you need like really good prompting, really strict prompting. Instructions you can change to like highly skilled copywriter. It doesn't really matter. I haven't really noticed a major difference here. But in any case, and you'll hit run 3 rows. I would recommend running 1 row at a time and testing your prompt before you just go ahead and nuke all of your API credits. But that's my advice. Run 3 rows. Now, I already ran this before we went up, and I ran it before I started this video, and I ran it with 3 other keywords. So now I chose 3 other keywords: waterproof, sport, and work watches, because that's what I thought the top keywords were going to be. But that's a mistake on my part. But again, like this, if I were to run this for all 16 collections, it would output this for 16 pages. Okay. Now, if you click on this, for example, we've got URL, title, which is the H1, meta title, intro section, H2, H3 number 1, H3 number 2, internal links, H3 number 3. Okay, that's great. That's what we're doing. Okay, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna push it to Google Docs or whatever editing tool of your choice. I don't recommend Shopify directly because you're gonna want to edit and add internal links, and it's just easier in a Google Doc. And then you're gonna publish. So, key points. Recap. Google Sheets and OpenAI to produce copy for every collection in a few minutes. I built those 3. I think it was a 20-second run. If I was doing 16, it'd probably be a 90-second run, hypothetically. This is going to pursue, I recommend the Google Sheets option, as opposed to trying to just recreate this in a ChatGPT conversation. ChatGPT, despite the instructions you give it within a conversation, it is going to produce a different output every time. It won't give you the same amount of H3s. It'll forget brand guidelines. It'll make up word internal links, all these kinds of things. It'll do it. So I recommend G Sheets for quality control at scale. 4 columns: URL, target keyword, brand information, copy output. Build your test collection page script. Build it in ChatGPT. I like to use meta prompting. So I tell it what I need, and we run the test, and we iterate from there. Test on 2 to 3 rows at a time instead of like all 16, as I mentioned, to avoid nuking API credits. If you run a test and you run all 16 and it sucks, you've just wasted those credits. Now, they're cheap. We're talking a few cents per run, but it can add up over time. And if you're doing like 1,000 at once, well, that'll really add up quickly. Delete the top 3 rows when you're ready to test again. Run a new prompt. Again, ChatGPT is what I use to meta prompt. ChatGPT, I need a collection page prompt to build collections for all these keywords, blah, blah, blah. It'll give you a draft, run the test, copy the prompt you used from ChatGPT, paste it back into ChatGPT. Hey, here's the prompt I used. Here's the output. Here are the issues with it. Here's what needs improved. ChatGPT will acknowledge it, build you a better prompt next time, run the test again. Simple as that. Other recommendation, feed in examples of pages you've already ranked. We do this all the time. We have 3,000 ranked ranked on page 1 of Google collection pages we built for clients over the years. So it runs through 3,000 examples as it builds this prompt. We run it in Airtable, not Google Sheets. Just a bigger workflow we needed to use a more customizable solution that we do for clients. Okay. But again, like we started this route. We started this kind of like primitive elementary way. Repeat until satisfied with the results. I think I spent, 4 or 5 hours building the prompt till I finally got the results I was happy with. 4 hours was a bummer, but now we can reduce collection pages in seconds for clients. So 4 hours of my time to now save hundreds of hours a month for my team and myself and our clients. Worthwhile investment. Next up, we're on step 4. Use the collection page script to build all collection page drafts. As you saw, I stored my collection page script in a Google Doc so I can edit it and iterate for future use. I've edited it. Since we put it to work at scale with our team, I've probably edited it 4 or 5 times since, so it's good to have it there as opposed to trying to recall what it was or scrolling through ChatGPT history. Again, I recommend sending them to Google Docs for editing and QA. We use AppScript, which is a Google app. QA the standard page level optimizations is your keyword in your meta title, your URL, H1, first sentence, subheadings, that kind of thing. And then add your internal links directly in Google Docs. Bulk upload to Shopify with Matrixify, which is a bulk uploading tool. I think you do 300 collections in 30 days on like a $25 plan. And then bonus, push them to an indexing tool of choice. Next up, monitor and optimize. You'll notice I said basic QA. Check if the keywords are there. I didn't recommend you edit every single page thoroughly. Publish them fast, index them, wait for data to roll in, then optimize each page based on Search Console data. I would say you should wait at least 20 to 30 days after their first index before you update the pages, because you do need a sufficient amount of clicks and impressions for each page to actually make good decisions. If you've only got 10 impressions on a page after the first day of publishing, well, you don't have enough data. Sorry to tell you that. OpenSearch, I've got a video on this. I'm going to link this in the thumbnail, whatever it's called. Not thumbnail, the recommended videos here. But open Search Console, start with the top impressed page, whatever that collection is. Optimize the copy using Search Console data. The goal here is to add underserved queries into the copy, basically semantic keywords that AI output didn't include but you're receiving clicks and impressions for. This is a better workflow, in my opinion, than Search for SEO. It's free, technically, and honestly, it's more accurate. 4-minute mark on this video linked, which again is going to be linked here, so check that out. That's how you optimize. If you want this done for you, the system I just walked you through, as I mentioned, was a pretty primitive V1 of what we do for our clients. Keyword research is our step 1. Just as I walked you through SEMrush here, we use SEMrush. Identify targets, confirm search intent. We do that manually for every single search term. We do not rely on SEMrush's kind of intent matching. Keywords are added to our internal database. We've got Airtable. Automated workflow then creates URL meta title H1 based off the keyword, and then it writes the collection page copy. I mentioned earlier on, we train it on 3,000 pages we've actually ranked for our clients. So it's better than just your run-of-the-mill prompt that I could build, like a meta prompt in ChatGPT. It is actually meta prompted and then trained against 3,000 pages that have already worked. So it's a proven structure, model, and diction of the content. AI then edits against an AI-generated style guide for the brand. For every single one of our brands, we scrape their entire website, build a mega dossier, and we basically have multiple pages that say which words to use, not to use, who are we speaking to, tone of voice, all these kinds of things. It's not built manually, it's built with AI. After that, Google Docs is created in Airtable. This is all still automated. Besides the keyword research is manual. Steps 2, 3, 4 are all automated. Totally. Google Doc is built, all the content's on there, send it to Airtable so our content team is ready to edit. Content team edits in QAs. We build the internal links in Google Docs. We send the Google Docs URLs to the client. Our team publishes in Shopify for the client. We then push the new URLs 20, 30, 40, however many they are, to an indexing tool. All go live. Clients are notified in Slack. Done. Big investment on our end. Really great quality, really fast. Link in the description below, and I'll chat to you there. What if I told you that most people are wasting money on backlinks and doing them completely wrong? I know this because I made the exact same mistakes myself, except I spent $250,000 trying to figure it out. But today, I'm gonna teach you everything I learned for free so you don't have to burn $250,000 like I did. I'm gonna break down exactly what works, what doesn't, and how you can build backlinks that actually grow your business and drive organic search sales using the same insights that I have now since used to earn a combined $40 million for my clients. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to avoid the big SEO mistakes and pitfalls, focus on real link building strategies that work, and of course, outrank your competition to earn more money for your e-commerce business. So let's get to it. Mistake number one is thinking that good content is going to earn links naturally. This is without a doubt one of the largest SEO myths ever peddled. Write great content and people are going to link to it. If your brand name is Sephora, Walmart, or another major brand, this works. However, for 99% of e-commerce brands, no journalists know your name, they do not know you exist, so you need to find a different way to get links instead. Sure, you could write the best blog post on the internet, but if there are no links pointing to it at all, it will be completely invisible. Also, Google actually rewards trust and authority, so if your site lacks any external credibility, no amount of content, no matter how good, is going to fix that. Instead of just relying on good content to earn links naturally, you need to brute force your link building. But what do I mean by that? First, pay for guest posts and link insertions. You can trade your money or your time for these. You can always make more money with your brand. You cannot manufacture more time. Most of these links are going to cost you less than $300-400. Totally worth it. Next up, run digital PR campaigns and reach out to journalists. Find a unique angle, pitch it to those journalists that have actually covered these topics in the past. Technically, this is free beyond your time and the payment for software to get their contact info, but it's definitely a cheaper option at scale. Backlinks are not going to magically appear. You have to go get them. Before you actually click off this video and go start building links, I want to make sure that you listen to this next mistake, because if you don't, it is going to cost you thousands of dollars like it at one point cost me. Mistake number two is buying cheap backlinks. Let's get this right. Cheap backlinks will do absolutely nothing for your site. They are completely useless. If anything, they actually may harm you. Best case scenario is that Google ignores these low quality cheap backlinks. The worst and more likely case, unfortunately, is that Google will actually penalize you for them because of how low their quality is. So while you're trying to save some money by opting for cheap, lower quality links, imagine you inadvertently crush your entire e-commerce site trying to save these few bucks. I see it all the time. Links on Fiverr, links on Upwork, all that kind of stuff. I want to help you avoid that trap. All the time, brands fall for agencies offering, 100 AI backlinks for $500 a month. They're nothing more than forum posts, blog comments, and other garbage links. Over the course of a year, these companies will waste $3,000 with absolutely nothing to show for it if they're lucky. In most cases, like I said, their rankings are actually just going to fall off a cliff because of these spammy link profiles. And of course, their revenue is going to be right behind it. Good news, there are ways to find high quality sites and get backlinks to rank higher and actually increase revenue for your e-commerce brand with SEO. Because at the end of the day, backlinks are just a vehicle to higher rankings. That is it. Okay, everything in SEO needs to be tied back to revenue. Backlinks are just one of the methods we use to do that. So focus on quality over quantity. A handful of high quality backlinks from authoritative, niche, relevant sites is absolutely going to outperform hundreds of irrelevant links. But how can you actually find these backlinks? So easiest way to find backlinks that you should build that your competitors have had a lot of luck on is to quite literally scrape their backlink profile. All right, you can do this in SEMrush. That's kind of my go-to tool. Super easy. I'm gonna show you how it's done. Okay, so first off, you're going to plug in your competitor's name. So I'm going to use Gymshark as an example here, okay? I have no affiliation with them. This is just an example, all right? So open SEMrush, you're going to go to Backlink Analytics. It's going to take a while. You are then going to open up the backlink tab here, and then you're going to add a few filters. Right now, it says they have over 304,000 backlinks. I do not believe that to be true. I know they've lost some. I know some of them don't matter, and I know some of them are impossibly expensive, okay? So first and foremost, I want to mark the links as active. I don't care about any that they've lost. They don't have the link. It doesn't matter to me anymore. Next up, follow. I'm not interested in no follow, and I'm not interested in sponsored UGC links. Now, number's already down to 182,000, down from 304. So we've already chopped off over 103,000 links. Good, getting closer. I want to do link placement. I'm only interested in content links, as those are the kinds of links you're going to land 99% of the time. Now we're down to 31,000. Okay, we've now knocked off 150 more thousand links. Another filter, we're going to go referring page language. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're working in US, Canada, Australia, some English market. We are only interested in English links here. A few more down. Now we're down to 20,000, another 12 down. And then we're gonna go to type includes text, okay? That means we're getting rid of image, we're getting rid of form, we're getting rid of frame, okay? I just want text links. These are the only kinds of links we build. Now we're down to 16,923 links. Still a pretty high number. However, the number is far more digestible than 304,000. If I were to keep going on this, I would filter down even further and do authority score or DRDA, all the same metric more or less. I would filter down from like 30 to 60. 30 to 60 is a good range where you can actually reach out to sites that are in that range, and they will actually offer you a position to guest post or link insert on their site, which I'm going against you. Now, if you want to get a link on like, Adweek.com or like MSN or Yahoo or WebMD or whatever, you can't pay for those links, right? If you are paying for them, they're going to be like tens of thousands of dollars. Most of those links have to be earned through digital PR, which I'm going to cover later on. This is where you start. This is a good lay of the land for competitors. You can get a feel for how many links they have, what kind of links they've targeted. You can go after like certain niches, certain countries, certain locations, all that kind of stuff, all right? But this is where I would start. This next mistake is a huge misconception with SEO, and if you do it, you could be throwing thousands out of the window for backlinks that don't even actually work. Mistake number 3 is relying solely on link marketplaces. On the surface, link marketplaces are great. There are tons of them out there, very common, easy to find. They're minimal effort, and it's all done for you, right? They've handled the outreach, all that good stuff. But in reality, the links that you get here are probably not going to help you unless you're exceptionally careful. And if you're only relying on these, you are burning money and missing out on the very obvious opportunities to actually make more money with SEO. Before we get any further, let me tell you why link marketplaces are not good. First and foremost, link marketplaces are outdated. They will send you in their database, whether it's an email they send you with a spreadsheet, or like they actually have like a web dashboard. All of the metrics they are showing you were added to that database or added to that spreadsheet months ago, maybe even years ago if they've been in relationship with these websites for a while. The issue with this is if you just blindly rely on the numbers that the link marketplace tells you, 99% of the time you are going to be wrong. A link marketplace may tell you that the site has 1,000 referring domains, it's got 10,000 traffic. Cool. On the surface sounds good. If you don't go check that actual website for yourself in Ahrefs or SEMrush or whatever tool you use, you may never find out that it lost 400 referring domains and traffic is actually now below 1,000 visits a month. If you lost 40% of your backlinks and over 90% of your traffic, those sites would no longer be a good link. If they tell you what sites they're building on, you should audit the site yourself and make sure those metrics are matching what the marketplace has provided you. If they do not tell you like what websites they're building on, they just give you like these broad parameters, I would avoid the marketplace completely, okay? You want to see the links that are going to be attached to your website. I would not pay until I've seen those links. Simple as that. Second off, they are exceptionally overpriced with a 50 to 70, even 80% markup on these low quality links that will cause you to lose even more additional money if you're not careful, even more than you would have also paid if you'd done it yourself. Last up, they're a commodity. If you go build the same links your competitors have, you will never outrank them because you're always playing catch up. I showed you SEMrush because I wanted you to get a feel for how to start your link building process. But if I was trying to compete with Gymshark and all I did was go replicate every single link they built, I would be playing catch up for the next probably 3, 4, 5 years. You need to mix in your own unique links and you need to go find unique ways to get them so that you can outrank your competitor. If I just mimic Gymshark, I'm always going to be kind of nipping at their heels and they're going to consistently be ahead of me because they are investing in new frontiers of link building. Competitors are a good place to start, but don't get overly hung up on it, right? That is not the end all be all. And instead of using link marketplaces, here's what I recommend you do. I recommend you do your own outreach because it is absolutely the best way to maximize your first control over the links and ensure you're getting the best cost. Set up multiple email inboxes, 5, 7, 10, whatever you need to send outreach, and use tools like Mailshake, Hunter.io, Apollo, whatever to get email data. Build your list by reaching out to sites in your niche and run these campaigns 24/7. My agency does all of this all of the time, 7 days a week. And on top of that, we run a 4-step QA process to separate the good, the bad, and the great links, enabling us to deliver consistent results for our brands. We also manage the entire SEO process for you, helping you predictably add revenue to your e-commerce brand through SEO, in addition to our link building. Just like we did with this furniture brand, who's already added over $150,000 in organic search revenue a month as a direct result of our SEO strategy. If you would like to learn more, you can click the top link in the description and I will chat to you in our discovery call. But skipping this next mistake could be the difference between burning money with backlinks and actually creating a sustainable network of backlinks that bring your e-commerce business hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue every single year. Mistake number 4 is thinking that one type of backlink is better than the other or the best. Let's be honest, everyone thinks their preferred link building method is the best, but that's because it's safe, that's because it's comfortable, that's because they're familiar. This is not true. And by limiting yourself to just one link building method, you are restricting your opportunity to make more money with backlinks because you have tunnel vision on one type of link. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing right now, but you need to understand why this is holding you back first. Enterprise SEOs will tell you that good content earns links. Again, that is true for maybe the top 1,000 websites in the world as far as traffic. Other people believe that guest posts get them to the #1 spot, but if those guest posts have no traffic, not very valuable. Reactive PR is great and really popular. It's just simply not enough right now. Digital PR, also really popular, also really scalable, extremely hard to master. Link insertions, also good, personal favorite of mine. They work, until the page gets way too crowded or edited and loses its value. So instead of just being stuck in this mindset of, one link is better than the other, believe me when I tell you that there is not a singular best link building strategy. A blend of all of these link building methods is actually key. We actively use reactive PR, link insertions, and digital PR for every single one of our brands. You absolutely must diversify your link profile to protect yourself against future Google updates. You do not know what's happening in the future. Giving yourself diversity is the best way to protect it. And I've been saving this one mistake for last, because if you're making this fifth mistake, guaranteed you are missing out on an SEO goldmine. Mistake number 5 is writing off smaller niche links. Many people believe that only, DR60 links are the only good links out there, but I've seen tons of $1,000+ DR60 links that do absolutely nothing for brands. And I'm sure you've been there as well, spending money on these links that just don't move the needle and you can't attach an accurate ROI to it. But if you look a little deeper at each individual link, you're actually going to see that there's a lot of value in lower DR links. High authority domain does not guarantee the link you get from that website is actually going to be valuable to you. Many of these DR60 links sit on orphan pages with 0 traffic, 0 links, 0 engagement. Instead of throwing money at these sites simply because they're DR60, I've learned to stop dismissing anything below that. And I live in the DR30 to 50 range. They have real traffic, they have a niche relevance to you, and they're a complete goldmine. And I consistently outrank huge big box brands with these couple $100 links when they're spending tens of thousands of dollars on PR. And when done right, a well-balanced mix of these kinds of lower quality links is guaranteed to outperform a single high DR link any day of the week, guaranteed. And these are the lessons I spent $250,000 learning. Now, you don't have to. And if you want to stop guessing and start winning with SEO, my agency can handle the entire process for you. Just like we did for this clothing brand, adding $20,000 a month in organic revenue through our SEO strategies in just 3 months. So if you're serious about leveraging SEO to drive real revenue, click the top link in the description to learn more. Like and subscribe if you want more no BS SEO insights. Thanks for watching. Every page that ranks on Google, every single one of them, has the same 7 things in common. The pages you can't get to rank, they're missing at least one of those 7. So today I'm going to show you those 7 ranking factors, ranked from easiest to hardest to implement, and how to apply them to any pages on your Shopify website. If you implement just the first 3, you'll probably find yourself on page 1. Do all 7, and it's almost impossible not to rank number 1 on Google. So let's get to the first tip. Number 1, build more internal links. The more internal links that you build to a page, the higher it'll rank. That is an undisputable fact in SEO. You can use a tool like Screaming Frog, which I recommend, or Ahrefs internal link tool if you're feeling less confident about the Screaming Frog tool, to find any internal link opportunities for whichever page you're trying to rank higher. Okay, I would use exact or near match anchors for the fastest results and prioritize internal links from these pages. So these source URLs should be linked, the internal link should be at near the top of that source URL page, because the higher an internal link is on page, the more valuable it is. Also from high authority and high traffic pages. Okay, if you go link to your target page from some page on your website that doesn't get any traffic, that is significantly less valuable than linking to that target page from your most traffic page on your website. Okay, so think about that. One other note, you should build more internal links to all pages you want to rank. Okay, but when it comes to e-commerce, not all of your pages are equal, not even close. Your collection pages and your product pages are more important to rank than blog posts. So these pages in kind should have more internal links than your average blog post. Okay. Number 2, build lookalike content. Most e-commerce brands that we work with build their site in a silo. They never even think to look at how their competitors' sites are designed. The best e-commerce brands, the ones that past 7 figures are growing quickly to 8 figures, they model their design directly off their competitors, and it is why they win. So there's an easy question to ask yourself. Is my page, looking at it, genuinely better than the top 2 to 3 results in Google? Now, you should be as objective as you possibly can and as critical of your page in this moment while you're asking this question as you possibly can. If it's not ranking on page 1 at all, the answer is obviously no. Okay, better pages rank higher. Simple as that. If it's not better, well, then that's why it doesn't rank on Google. Okay, analyze the top 2 to 3 results for your keyword, and again, be critical of yourself and of your page. Compare those findings to your page. You should make your page quite literally look more like the pages that already rank, because Google clearly likes those. It should look the same or better than the top 3 results. That's it. Obviously, this applies to whatever page you're currently trying to rank higher, but you should repeat this on all pages. Okay. Now, when I say look better, content structure, mobile design, all these kinds of things come into play. Better is pretty all-encompassing, but if it looks like trash compared to the number 1 result, well, that's a pretty good reason it's not ranking. Number 3, write data-driven content. Google Search Console is without a doubt the best SEO tool for analyzing and improving your content. Okay, there are a lot of AI tools out there that will do it for you. I like Search Console. I very rarely pay for any AI kind of like enrichment tools like Surfer or whatever. Evaluate the performance of your top 10 to 20 product and collection pages in Search Console, and just set a filter to view only whichever page you're currently trying to rank higher. Clicks, impressions, and average position in Search Console should be toggled on for whatever page that is. Set the timeline to the last 28 days. That'd be my recommendation. And then sort the queries by impressions highest to lowest. Okay, so the most impressed keyword would be first, even if it's not the most clicked keyword. Okay. For the top 10 most impressed queries, ask a question to yourself. Is this query present on the page I'm trying to rank for? Okay. Just copy, like Control C, whatever query that is, open your page, hit Control F, paste in whatever keyword that is. If it's there, great, move on to the next keyword. If it's not there, find a way to add it in. Add that query to your, depending on the importance of that query / keyword, subheadings, paragraph copy, internal links to that page, meta title if it's hyper important, H1 if it's hyper important, okay? Just get it mentioned. Number 4, build similar pages. Let's say you're a supplement brand that wants to rank your collection page for the keyword protein powder. You're going to need to use all 7 tactics in this video because that keyword is hyper competitive. But this one will probably be the most profitable for your brand and probably the easiest to implement and get you the fastest results. I'm going to guess you don't just sell one kind of protein powder. You also sell protein powder for different use cases. Weight loss / weight gain, different ingredients or flavors, whey, hemp, pea, plant-based, strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, whatever. And for different kinds of people. Men, women, kids, athletes, bodybuilders, runners, whatever. So I just went to SEMrush and I took the screenshot of just a quick extension of if I was a protein powder brand right now, all the collections I would, not all, but a sample of the collections I would go build right now to improve my chances of ranking number 1 on Google. I added 16 of them, just very quick. This took me 40 seconds on SEMrush. Protein powder for muscle gain, protein powder for weight gain, for women, for fat loss, for weight loss, for men, for coffee, for aged kids, low carb diet, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, some of these are not super competitive, 15 to 30, 35. Some of them are more competitive, but they're all significantly less competitive than protein powder, which is like 80 something. Okay. So this will give you a better chance to rank. Okay. And the total search volume with these is actually 47.7K. And again, that's just 16 keywords, and there are a hell of a lot more. I only went down to 1,300 search volume. There were keywords that got like 100 searches a month that are still, I think, pretty profitable. So you could exhaust this list and probably hit like 50 or 60 protein powder-related keywords. As I said, the easiest way to get more visibility on Google is to actually build more pages. 10 pages on your site, that's 10 chances. 100 pages, 100 chances. 1,000 pages, so on. You get it, okay? Number 5, fix your technical SEO. Now, not something I talk about a lot, but it can hold you back from ranking number 1 on Google, without a doubt. I do not recommend that you pay an agency or a Fiverr freelancer or Upwork or whatever for some audit. Don't care how cheap it is, don't care how expensive it is. A lot of these things you can fix on your own with a few YouTube videos and a few free trials. I would get a free 7-day trial of SEMrush Ahrefs, run a crawl of your website, fix the top issues. You can also, if you have a small website, use a tool like siteliner.com, which I think is free up to 500 URLs. And it'll tell you, it'll give you action steps on what to fix and how to fix it and why. The biggest wins, without question. Fixing any broken links / 404 errors. Just set up 301 redirects. Reclaiming any broken backlinks. So if you're trying to rank a page and it has 5 backlinks that all of a sudden no longer exist because of whatever reason, go reclaim them. Immediately injecting 5 links into your site will help, or to that page will help you rank higher, of course. Disavowing any toxic backlinks. Now these could be to your entire domain or they could be to specifically your page, but in many cases, disavowing toxic links, a high volume of them can help kind of unstick a page in Google rankings. You can also add schema to a page. We do this for all pages, well, not all pages, but core pages, products, collections, homepage, any massive FAQ pages, blogs, things of that nature. Which type you add will depend on the page type you're trying to rank. I think there's a couple thousand types of schema, so you'll need to look through that library to figure it out, or you can just ask ChatGPT which kind to add, and it'll help you. Issues I'd recommend skipping. Ahrefs and SEMrush are going to throw up warnings or errors like your meta description is too long, too short, or missing. That's not an error. Image file size is too large. Wouldn't call it an error. Could be an improvement though. That would kind of fall under the page speed conversation of this. I would just use an image compression and alt text app. They're like $5-10 a month on Shopify. Could you do it manually and save code? For sure. But if you want to rank it quickly and just fix it, and you don't want to spend time manually compressing a bunch of images, just get an app. I think Crush is like $5 a month, and it's typically the one I recommend to brands, and I'm not affiliated with that. It's just a recommendation. You fix all these items in 7 days, you won't have to pay for your monthly subscription of Ahrefs or SEMrush, or an SEO audit. Okay, pretty easy. 6, build backlinks. If your page looks the same and your content is good, technical SEO is dialed in with whatever page is ranked top 2 or 3, backlinks are going to be the number one ranking factor for Google. Okay, no questions asked. The more higher quality links you have than your competition, the higher your likelihood of outranking them is. Like without question, that is the truth. Best ways to build them quickly. If you want to rank a page on Google, link exchange with friends, other brands. Ask people in your niche. Ask brands you've met along the way. Ask your friends. Don't care. You can even send emails to people and ask them. Doesn't matter. Or you can buy them. Okay, cold email, pay them. Link marketplaces, pay them. Whatever. You could build a handful of links in a few days, or in a day for that matter, for a couple $100. All of a sudden you're ranking number one. This is probably the most effective way to rank any page higher on Google. Again, all things being equal, it's really going to come down to who has a higher volume of better quality backlinks. Link building of course does cost money, and it is nuanced. That's the reason it's at number 6. If it was easy and free, I'd put it number 1 because it's the biggest ranking factor, but it's not. So cost money, nuance, hence why it's at number 6. Now, the last one, number 7, build supporting pages. Topical authority. I've not talked about this a lot on this channel recently because it's not lost its efficacy. It just takes a lot longer to build it with so much AI content out there. And because people are not searching the top of the funnel, topical authority is a little bit less relevant. Okay, still can be done. It still can help if you've got the time and the resources to invest in it, but it's just going to take some time. Now, what is it? Who do you think ranks higher between two sites? Site A, using the protein powder example, they've got a few collections, a few product pages, and some other standard site pages. Think your about page, your service, like terms and conditions, returns page, things like that. Basic standard pages. Or site B, protein powder, same few collections, same few products, standard pages, and 50 to 100 supporting blogs that demonstrate their expertise in the protein powder niche, talking about the benefits of it, the ingredients, the use cases, why you should look at this protein powder versus other ones, how it compares to normal food, all that kind of stuff, how it balances in a healthy macronutrient diet, all those kinds of things. Again, if you're answering the question honestly, of course it's going to be site B, and Google thinks the same way as well. So topical authority, when you do your internal linking correctly, let's say you build a bunch of topical authority around a protein powder for a weight loss collection page, you build a bunch of internal links from those topical authority blogs to that page, you massively increase the likelihood that that collection page is going to rank number 1 on Google and, of course, make you money. See you guys in the next video.
I audited over 100 e-commerce websites last month. These are the 10 most common SEO mistakes that every website is still making. Between my SEO agency and coaching a data mentor, I audit and speak with over 100 websites every single one. From 6-figure brands trying SEO for the very first time to 8 and even 9-figure brands that want to dominate Google and ChatGPT. I have seen it all. That is 1,200 websites each year. And like I said, these are the 10 most common mistakes I see e-commerce brands of all sizes make when it comes to their SEO. First, they think their SEO is something that they need to quote unquote fix. All right. They've been sold the same lie that agencies and freelancers have been peddling for years that they're using to rob brands completely blind of SEO budget. They say technical SEO is the foundation. You can't do anything else until your website is fixed. Okay. That pulls brands into 60, 90-day, 120-day contracts where they're doing technical SEO that is just simply not moving the needle. Okay. And they don't know any better because they never understood the technical SEO in the first place, right? I would tell you right now, for 99% of brands, technical SEO is not what's holding you back. Of the 100 brands I audit each month, I would say maybe 2 or 3 of them have a technical issue holding them back from growth. Over the summer, I've spoken with probably 300-400 brands, some of them multiple times. I can, on one hand, recall the amount of technical issues holding a brand back. Quite frankly, I think it's actually 3. One was a cannibalization issue, and one was a headless Shopify issue. Okay. The others, not technically related, all content and all link building related. Okay. So, is technical SEO critical to your growth? 100%. Absolutely. No one is doubting that. Is it what's actually holding you back right now? No. Most brands who are trying SEO for the first time, they think their SEO is broken. Very, very commonly when I speak with brands who have never done it, they're like,
yeah, we've never really done SEO. There's probably a lot of things that are broken that need to get fixed first. And like, it's just simply not true, right? Unless you just have like the worst site hygiene of all time, you haven't broken your site for SEO. There's a lot of other things you can do that will actually help grow it that I would not really consider them. I would not consider those things to be a fix, so to speak. Okay. Um, you think it's a problem you have to fix? Maybe that's partially true in some cases, but I think that's a terrible way of looking at it, right? You wouldn't say your Google ads are broken or your meta ads are broken or your emails are broken, right? You look at them as growth channels. You should do the exact same thing with SEO if you seriously want to grow. Number two, acting like it's still 2021. Okay. SEO in 2021 was stupid easy. Okay. It was anyone can get results. You just built how to build their blogs. You built internal links and backlinks. You optimize product and category pages. You repeat it. Okay. The SEO playbook for 2025 and 2026, a little more complex than that. A few more moving parts. Build internal links and backlinks. Optimize product category pages. That's not new. More middle of funnel and bottom funnel blog content. Get branded mentions on Reddit and optimize content for LLMs. Okay. The easiest SEO strategy in the world is to just write blogs and say a prayer that customers find your products through those blogs, okay? This barely worked in 2021, and it definitely doesn't work in 2025. Brands waste money on cheap agencies and freelancers to write blogs and say they're doing SEO, okay? You think because you're writing blogs, you have officially like ticked your SEO box. As I said, it's not something that's broken. It is a growth channel like any other channel you have, okay? If you are spending a couple $100 a month on blog writing and you're not really seeing a move, you're just burning money, quite frankly. You need to upgrade your strategy or you will simply get left behind and continue burning that cash for as long as you decide to spend it, okay? Number three, thinking too small. Without fail, brands throw all of their products into a shop all collection or into a bunch of vague categories and collections, okay? The shop all is the least effective SEO page on earth, okay, as far as when it comes to e-commerce. In fact, we almost always no index shop all pages so that it doesn't cannibalize against the homepage, okay? This is a lazy and ineffective way of building out a website, okay? You need to think more granularly about your products. As an example, I've used this one plenty of times on this channel before because I work with brands like this. You don't just sell compression socks. You sell compression socks for men and for women. You need a collection for each. Flying, travel, running, working out, wide and plus size calves, swelling, plantar fasciitis. You also sell them by color, by other use cases, right? Every single use case you have needs to be a new collection or a new category, right? That is how you fan out and rank for more keywords, okay? Every single one of these use cases and keywords deserves its own collection, okay? By doing this, you're going to, like I said, you're going to fan out for more queries and you're going to put your products in front of more potential customers that are ready to buy products for their specific needs, okay? Shop all collections convert terribly, okay? Men's compression socks converts better. Men's compression socks for flying converts even better, okay? You have to think granularly, okay? Now, this does not just benefit your SEO, okay? I'm not just talking about SEO at this point. If you have collections and category pages like this, you can use them for ads, for email, for SMS. All these kinds of channels are going to benefit as a result of having these more granular landing pages, right? You can work on customer segmentation and you can deliver category pages, like URLs/landing pages to the customers that need a specific problem solved at a specific time, okay? These pages benefit way more than just SEO. Next up, number 4, viewing SEO as a checklist. Everyone on earth in SEO has sold or given away or bought or done something. They would come across an SEO checklist at some point or another, myself included. I have paid for them. I have given them away. I have sold them. I've done it all, okay? They're a great lead magnet. Transparently, that is why I've used them and or purchased or engaged with one, okay? They are not an SEO strategy by any means, okay? You don't simply like finish SEO once you finish the checklist, right? Like it's the same thing. Like your SEO is not broken and it's never finished, okay? That would be the same as never checking your meta ads again after setting them up the first time, okay? You clearly wouldn't do that unless you have no interest in making money. We don't use any checklists in our agency. They have no use to us because we build strategies that evolve over time with brands, with search engines, and with niches, okay? We are always hunting for more keywords to target. We are looking for more keywords we can rank higher, more links to build, more competitor gaps to close, all of these kinds of things. Checklists imply an ending of some sort. SEO is not going to end, just like you wouldn't stop spending money on ads, sending emails, or trying to acquire your next customer, okay? As I've tried to hit home on a few of these points already, SEO is a growth engine just like any other channel. Number 5, overspending on backlinks. I've actually mentioned this on this channel before, and Twitter and LinkedIn, all that kind of stuff. High DR, PR style backlinks, I believe, are a waste of money for, I would say, 99% of e-commerce brands. If you're a 9 or 10 figure brand, totally fine. You've got the capital to spend $5,000 to $6,000 a month on PR links, and quite frankly, you probably need them. You're doing PR, your PR strategy evolves well beyond just the SEO component of it, right? You're looking at brand image, reputation management, all that kind of stuff. You have the capital and the need to spend that kind of money. 6, 7, 8 figure brand, honestly, I think you're better off with niche relevant links that cost a couple $100s a piece, $200 to $400 on the high end. You can get them, you can get good ones even for, $150 depending on your niche. Okay. They are absolutely less glamorous than a link from Forbes or The Sun or MSN or Yahoo, whatever, right? However, they are considerably cheaper and more effective when you actually build them properly, okay? Every dollar you spend in the 6 to 8 figure annual revenue range as an e-commerce brand needs to move the needle for your e-commerce brand. I believe that these niche relevant links move the needle more than high DR PR links just because they're cool, okay? I've talked to a ton of brands that have spent all this kind of money that are like 6, 7 figure brands that have spent like tens of thousands of dollars on PR links, and they don't have any rankings, traffic, or extra revenue to show for it, okay? We only build a handful of links each month, but a handful of links each month for our clients between like 5 and 10, 5 and 15, depending on kind of the game plan. All of the links cost between $200 and $400, okay? We don't spend more than that, and we get really good results for our clients, okay, without the need for high DR, kind of PR, flashy links. Number 6, the opposite, underspending on backlinks. You, without a doubt, no questions asked, will need backlinks to rank for more competitive keywords. There's no way around it, okay? You cannot topical authority your way around it. You cannot build internal links around it. All of those things will get you closer, but if you want to rank number 1, like, you've got to spend the money on links, especially for high competition keywords, okay? I like to pay for them because it's quick and efficient. I would say what doesn't work is trying to earn them forever. This is not scalable. It is literally begging people to link to you. Most people don't like begging. I definitely don't want to beg for a link, okay? Also, not paying for backlinks out of fear of penalties does not work either. I've been paying for links for the last 5 years. Currently spend about $40,000 a month each on backlinks, or each month on backlinks, across all of our clients and other projects. 0 penalties in 5 years, okay? Here is a great, perfect example of underspending on backlinks, okay? I had a 60-minute paid consultation with a furniture brand. It was about 4 months ago now. They wanted to outrank Wayfair, an SEO giant by, I would say, all accounts, okay? One of the best sites I've ever seen in terms of how they build out categories, and they fan out and rank for all these kinds of queries, okay? And they're a behemoth. I don't know what their revenue is, but I'm sure it's in the 10 to 11 figure range. Anyways, after the paid consult, these were the rough action steps I gave them. Okay, there's a lot more granular than this, but this is what I'm going to tell you. Optimize existing products and collections, categories in their page, or in their case. Create long tail categories and add content to them. Build internal links between these similar categories, and build backlinks to your homepage of target categories. What they did, they simply skipped steps 1 through 3. They built 5 total backlinks for a total of $800, so they just went straight to step 4 here. They emailed me 3 months later, so last month, and they said it didn't work out and they wanted a refund on a 1-hour consult, okay? I didn't give it to them because they skipped steps 1 through 3 and had the audacity to believe that just because they spent $800 on links, they thought they could outrank Wayfair. They honestly thought their website was a better site than Wayfair. I can tell you Wayfair spends, I think it's probably over $100,000 a month on backlinks, quite frankly. They are, like I said, an SEO behemoth. Even so, $800 to think you'll outrank a brand like Wayfair that is, I don't know, 100 times your size, is simply naive. You're not going to beat Wayfair with a shoestring budget. If you want to rank for competitive keywords, you have to spend the money to make it happen. No shortcuts, okay? Number 7, trying SEO out. SEO is a compounding growth channel, okay? The more you do over time, the bigger and better your results will become. Want to try it out for 1 2 months? It's a waste of your money, quite frankly. And if you're going to work with us, it's a waste of our time and your time. I would say conservatively, you should invest a minimum of 4 to 6 months into SEO before you write it off. Now, if you work with a good team, agency, freelancer, in-house, whatever, in 4 to 6 months, if you're seeing results, you're not going to write it off, right? You wouldn't stop something because it's working ever, right? Now, You want to do it for 1-2 months, see if it works. I genuinely believe you should spend your money elsewhere. Paid ads, inventory, a new hire, I don't care. Just spend it elsewhere. You're probably going to thank yourself in 90 days if you're not prepared to go the distance with SEO. Here's a real example from over the summer, if you think you'll be any different, okay? Brand A, which is a previous client of ours, will remain unnamed here. It's for the last 4 years doing SEO, mostly writing affiliate blogs, paying for links. They'd actually had some pretty good success with the affiliate stuff. They had some okay rankings, but after the last 3 core updates this year, and also removing 10 of their highest traffic pages because they didn't fit their ICP anymore, their traffic dropped by over 6% in 60 days, roughly 60 days. They came to us and they wanted it fixed in 60 days. I didn't ask enough questions in discovery. And quite frankly, like as an agency and myself, quite frankly, we're left holding the bag after we couldn't correct course in those 60 days, okay? I shouldn't have taken them on in the first place. I definitely believed I could fix the recovery. I didn't believe I could do it in 60 days. I should have been a little more clear on timelines. And quite frankly, I think they should have spent their money elsewhere or been willing to go more than 2 months. Lesson learned on my end. I hope it's the same for them, quite frankly. Number 8, SEO is not a silver bullet. If your product doesn't work on paid search, it's not going to magically work on organic search, okay? Now, I say paid search because this doesn't include Meta, okay? I know products all the time that work on Meta, but I shouldn't say all the time. Paid ads on Meta work fundamentally differently than paid search on Google Ads, right? But in both cases on Google, whether it's organic or paid, people are typing in a set of keywords and they're looking to buy a product. So you can't get paid search to work. Organic search isn't going to work. But if you can't get Meta ads to work, that doesn't necessarily mean organic search isn't going to work for you, okay? In any case, SEO is not a silver bullet. It is a supplementary channel in your entire marketing stack. It is not the end-all, be-all of growth for you. Here's another example where a brand expected to be their silver bullet, and again, I did poor discovery. Another lesson learned, quite frankly. Beauty brand overinvested their cash in SEO, and so they pulled spend in other areas so that they could afford it. This included pulling spend on paid ads, influencer marketing, email, and all their channels, okay? Business slowed down because they stopped momentum in all these other areas to just do SEO, to focus on SEO. They completely stopped posting on their organic socials for the last 6 months, just like, quite frankly, coasting, okay? A mistake on both ends. I should better in discovery to make sure they weren't stretching their finances to work with us. I don't think they should have stretched it, quite frankly. And 2, they definitely shouldn't have pulled back momentum on every other channel, right? SEO can be great. There are some brands we work with where it is doing upwards of 40 to 50% of all of their revenue comes from organic search. Most brands are not like that. If you take momentum out of these other channels and rely fully on SEO, 1, the pressure mounts, but 2, you're hurting yourself, quite frankly, by pulling momentum elsewhere. So SEO is something you add in and keep doing everything at the same pace. It's not like something you don't add in SEO and pull back 10% everywhere else. You're going to fail. I guarantee it. That client churn, of course, I genuinely wonder what the future of their business is going to hold. If you stop posting on organic socials, it kind of feels like it's just at some point going to end, right? Anyway, number 9, pivoting solely to GEO. People are still searching for and buying products on Google. Okay, nothing has changed there. This is a post by Rand Fishkin, one of the most famous SEOs that I'm aware of, quite frankly. 20% of Americans use AI tools over 10 times a month, myself included. If you watch this, I bet you use it more than 10 times as well. But growth is slowing and traditional search hasn't actually dipped, okay? Basically, like, organic search is, people are using ChatGPT also, but they're also using Google, okay? Organic search growth isn't slowing, okay? It is expanding the way people search. Personally, and I would imagine most people do this, if I have long questions, top of funnel informational types of things, I'm going to ChatGPT where I prefer a summarized response to my question as opposed to having to read through an entire article, right? As an example, this is a study from SEMrush. Before using ChatGPT, people were searching on Google 10.5 times a week on average. After ChatGPT, 10.5 times, okay? Or 12.5 times, excuse me, right? So organic search sessions are actually going up, which is basically a sign that SEO is not dying. It's just evolving, okay? There's always going to be search as long as there's search engines and now LLM platforms, okay? Here's a real example of a brand pivoting way too early on GEO. I grew them from 12K to over 100K a month in SEO revenue in a year and a half. It's probably one of our best case studies at our agency. They were incredibly disrespectful to our team, especially in the final months. And so I let them go for that reason. They pivoted slowly to GEO or whatever you want to call it, AEO, I don't care. I checked their metrics a few months ago, or a few weeks ago rather, just out of curiosity, after they went all in on GEO. 50% declines in non-branded transactional traffic. So 50% declines in product page and category page traffic since we fired them and they moved only to GEO. 762 money page keywords lost / no longer ranked in the top 3. So 762 product page and category page rankings that no longer exist in the top 3, which is really the only rankings you make money in anymore. And they no longer rank at number 1 for the top 3 keywords. We got the number 1 for all of them. They're not even on page 1 anymore. Okay. I took a look at the site. They pulled like all of the content we've written, fully rewritten for GEO, so to speak. To be fair, I don't know their percentages. I don't know how they're performing in terms of like AI share of voice, things like that. But I do know their organic search is pretty much dead in the water as it stands. So yes, GEO is coming. It's already here. We are making strides to, improve. Reddit mentions, listicles, brand mentions, all that kind of stuff, right? But all that stuff goes alongside your SEO strategy. It is not a replacement, okay? People are still using Google. It is still a multi-trillion-dollar company. It is not going anywhere anytime soon, okay? And last up, number 10, not building enough internal links. Internal links are a cheat code, quite frankly. For every 4 to 5 internal links that you build, that is a rough equivalent to 1 backlink from a similar sized traffic and DR site as you, okay? Example, you're a DR30 site that gets 10,000 visits each month organically. Every 4 to 5 internal links you build to a page would be the rough equivalent to 1 singular backlink from also a DR30 site and roughly 10K monthly traffic, okay? Now, 4 to 5 internal links, you got to take a few minutes to do. They're going to cost $0. 1 backlink from a site of that size, probably going to be around $200 and take you a few days to get it, okay? And you also have to go find the contact information from that site. So it could be longer. Publisher got it back to you. I mean, backlinks can take anywhere from a few hours to build to a few days, okay? But either way, it's $200 versus free. One's faster, one's not. You can get yourself into the top 3 to 5 spots for a lot of keywords with internal links. Backlinks are going to take you the rest of the way to the top spot. If you've got a keyword that's like, a couple 100,000 searches a month or even like 50, 60,000 searches a month and you want to rank number 1, like you can't just build only internal links and expect to rank number 1. It's not going to work, right? Because like internal links, while they do work, like while the 4 to 5 internal links can replicate a single DR link, like you may need a DR 40, 50, 60 link to rank in the top spot because other brands have it. So it's not a perfect replacement, but it will get you like 80% of the way there, okay? More times than not, the brands I speak with, data mentor, prospects, clients of ours, they think they need to start building backlinks in dozens of pages when they haven't actually even fully tapped out their internal linking. It is usually one of the best and most efficient levers to pull when we start working on the brand to get them results, or if I'm consulting for a brand, what I recommend they do. Number 10, build more internal links, okay? Now, if you're still making these mistakes and you're an e-com brand doing $75,000 a month or more, and you want to grow your SEO on autopilot, book a discovery call with me using a link below, and talk soon.
If your SEO agency tells you to wait 6 to 12 months for results, fire them. I'm going to show you 5 SEO tactics that will blow up your traffic in 30 days or less, including one that literally hijacks Google rankings and potential customers from your direct competitors. These are the exact tactics we've used to help Shopify stores rank at the top of Google and now LLMs in weeks, not months. One of our clients actually pulled in over $110,000 from ChatGPT just this year using these exact strategies. I'm going to break down each one step by step: how to steal your competitors' branded traffic, how to use free platforms like Reddit to rank number 1 in a few days, as well as 3 others of my favorite tactics. So let's start with the fastest one, parasite SEO, and right now, Reddit is the place to be for parasite SEO. Let's get to it. Tactic number 1, parasite SEO on Reddit. First off, you can buy age Reddit accounts with high karma, and then you connect them to a proxy and anti-tech browser. This basically bypasses the having to wait period that Reddit enforces on brand new accounts, basically preventing any new accounts from commenting or engaging with high traffic, and of course high traffic are the most high value threads. So use these age Reddit accounts to comment on high traffic threads, or even create your own threads, and then you can populate them with your own comments. You'll add upvotes to your comments or your entire posts to elevate them to the top of threads and basically manufacture more traffic to these threads. Other benefit of this, ChatGPT actually cites Reddit about 10% of the time. Used to be higher, now it's about 10%. Still pretty solid. And Reddit ranks in the top 3 spots on Google for over 24 million keywords, 24.3 to be exact when I checked SEMrush this morning. So Reddit is a total cheat code right now, okay? High traffic Reddit threads are outranking huge brands like Amazon, New York Times, Wayfair, and tons of other big box brands that traditionally dominate ultra competitive keywords like air purifiers, compression socks, saunas, right? You can rank Reddit threads for those exact like broad match high value keywords, okay? So how to do it? Find high traffic Reddit threads. You can use SEMrush, other social listening tools. Use your age Reddit accounts to populate a few comments, upvote them over time, and earn the top spot. Basically earn the top like 2-3 positions, 2-3 comments within those high traffic threads. Congratulations, you are now the most visible brand in the #1 spot on some ultra competitive keyword. This is without a doubt the fastest way to increase your branded awareness via search engines, and probably the closest I would say that you can get to manufacturing virality on search engines, okay? People see you on Reddit, all of a sudden they go search for your brand name. Now you've got more branded traffic. This is, again, the closest you can probably get to, I don't know, demand generation on a search engine, which is typically a demand conversion channel. Pro tip, create posts like your brand reviews to better manage search engine reputation. These threads can outrank third-party sites like Trustpilot and other third-party kind of aggregating sites where your customer reviews may not be so great, right? You get a few bad reviews on Trustpilot in the last week, all of a sudden your trust score goes down a full point. That sucks. If you do like Reddit reputation management like this, you can actually reduce the impact these negative reviews have by basically suppressing or pushing those Trustpilot listings further down the first page of Google. The more Reddit threads you rank, the further that Trustpilot score or the further that Trustpilot profile and reviews page goes down on Google, which means less people are likely to see it. Okay. Now, if you want this done for you, book a discovery call. Links in the description. This is now a new service we're offering as an agency. Next up, build internal links. Tactic number 2. Very simple here. The more internal links a page has pointing to it, the more important it is perceived to be. Greater importance, higher rankings. Okay, direct correlation there. I recommend using Screaming Frog to audit your internal links. Ahrefs is an internal link tool. It's not as great. Screaming Frog is definitely the best option. Build internal links to your most important pages and ensure that any important page is an orphan page, okay? You wrote a new blog, you built a new collection page, launched a new product. You need to make sure that that page has links pointing to it. Otherwise, it is never going to see the light of day on Google or in any LLM. Pro tip here. 4 to 6 internal links, ballpark, is the rough equivalent to 1 backlink. So let's say you're a DR40 site, 10K traffic. 4 to 6 internal links to, let's say, your main collection will be the equivalent, rough equivalent as 1 backlink from also a DR40 10K traffic site, okay? Internal links cost $0, take a few minutes. Backlink of that quality would probably run you $200 to $400, maybe more, maybe a little bit less. But in any case, it's definitely higher than 0. And it's also going to take a few hours to source. Publisher could be a pain in the ass, quite frankly. Internal links are just faster, right? This can help you close link gaps really fast and help you rank pages very quickly on Google. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean backlinks. You don't ever need backlinks, okay? If you're set to DR40, you will eventually need a DR50, 60, 70 backlink to rank for an ultra competitive keyword, but good internal linking can get you a good amount of the way to the #1 spot, okay? Tactic 3, hijack your competitors' branded results. 2 types of articles we create for every single brand and every single competitor they have, okay? Competitor reviews and alternatives, competitor versus your company. Start with the first one. Competitor alternatives and reviews. These articles rank for your competitors' branded search terms, helping you steal customers right from under their nose. Tactic number 1, the bonus tip, pro tip, whatever, was creating Reddit threads to better manage your reputation. If you've got a competitor that's not paying any attention to their reputation, these articles basically can help you slide in and rank number 2, number 3, number 4 for their branded search term, okay? You built Reddit threads to push Trustpilot scores out of the way. You can also build Reddit threads, as a defensive mechanism against this tactic. Your competitors, if they're not watching this video, are not as smart as you. You can literally hijack their branded search traffic using these articles, assuming they've not done any Reddit reputation management, okay? This tactic number 1 and number 3 can work in conjunction, both to help you defensively and also offensively. Competitor versus your company. These articles will literally compare one-on-one directly what you do against your competitor, giving consumers a specific breakdown of what you do versus what they do, which brand is better for which type of consumers. Maybe you're the premium option, maybe they're the budget option, whatever. You should not, I do not recommend openly bashing your competitor here. Probably a lawsuit coming your way if you do so. Be civil, be honest, okay? There are probably some things that your competitors do better than you, and there are probably some things you do better than your competitors. Voice those things. Be as unbiased as you can. Be as neutral as you can. Let the chips fall where they may. Okay. Pro tip: these articles are super highly cited by LLMs. So the extra bonus of creating these, one, you get to kind of infiltrate your competitor's moat, but you also get to increase your AI and LLM referral traffic. We generated, as I mentioned at the start of this video, about 110K via ChatGPT for one of the brands we work with this year, using this tactic as a core part of our strategy. We've been producing this content, these two types of content, for the last 3-4 months, and having a lot of success from AI referral traffic coming specifically to these pages. Just dropped a brand interview with their head of e-commerce. You can check it out on my channel. I believe it's the most recent video after this. Just give that a watch. Tactic number 4, Moneyball SEO. Talk about this a lot, okay? Easiest way to explain it is to use an example. Let's say you sell hot tubs, okay? You don't really just sell hot tubs. You sell custom hot tubs, commercial hot tubs, 2-person, 3-person, 4-person, 5-person, so on and so forth. Indoor hot tubs, outdoor hot tubs, above ground, in ground, okay? The list goes on, okay? The more you need a collection page, a landing page of some kind for every single version of this keyword that you sell, okay? Your hot tubs may be all of these things, right? You may not sell a 2-person one, okay? Don't create a 2-person page. But if you sell a 3-person hot tub, create a landing page. Simple as that, right? You should target every viable variation of your keyword to maximize your chances of reaching customers, okay? If you just try to rank for hot tubs or your main keyword, whatever that may be, that's basically one shot on goal. If you target every transactional keyword of hot tubs or of your keyword, you could be taking potentially 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 shots on goal, okay? If you don't watch sports, typically the team that shoots more ends up winning. Very high percentage of the time, okay? Now, we do this for clients producing 100 collections a month. Across clients, we've even done 100 in a month for a single client in some cases, okay? This is how we do it without impacting quality. This is basically our 13-step process. Keyword research to identify targets and confirm search intent, okay? If we find the top 3 or 4 results for what we think could be a collection page keyword are actually blog results, well, we obviously can't create a collection page. We know we need a blog, okay? That's how we confirm intent. Number 2, keywords are added to Airtable, which is our database/project management tool. Once they're added to Airtable, an automated workflow runs. Basically 3 big steps broken down by a lot of, I guess, like sub-workflows. The AI creates the URL, meta title, and H1 based off the target keyword. It then writes a collection page copy. Collection page copy is trained on over 3,000 ranked pages we've built for clients over the years, specifically 300 collection pages we've ranked, okay? Basically have our own like training model for it. Sub-step number 3, AI then edits against an AI-generated style guide, separate workflow we run, which basically scrapes all the content from our client's website and then builds a dossier on style, words to use, not to use, average sentence length, things like that. So basically, we create we have a target keyword, AI creates a generated version that is based off 3,000 ranked pages, and then AI then edits that workflow or edits that output based against the brand style guide. Then we've got, I would call it like an 80% winning version, okay? All of that is then sent to a Google Doc, and then that Google Doc is then linked in Airtable, which is step 4. All the content is already there. The AI is already, the automated workflow has already generated the content, optimized the content, put it in a Google Doc, linked it in Airtable, okay? Step 5, when our content lead, basically our in-house content team, finally is ready to start editing, everything, the draft's already 80% of the way there, like I said, okay? Step 6, first round of QA. Basically, they'll run through the article in accordance with basically our optimization rules. So we're looking at major things: first sentence, subheading, first sentence. Let's call it like keyword density for lack of a better word. I really hate that word. Subheading optimization, things like that. Okay, as well as client style. Something to check for, like sometimes AIs get subheadings wrong. Sometimes they use British English instead of American English when they should be using one or the other. Right? We have clients in UK, AU. In the United States and the UK, right? So we have to make sure we're doing that correctly, like the English language matches. Sometimes AI just gets it wrong, forgets it, whatever, right? So our QA runs through those things as well. So that's the initial QA step. Step 7, actually add internal links to the page. So we want to add internal links both to and from the page, okay? I talked about earlier, adding internal links to a page, fast way to get to rank higher. You also need to add internal links from that page to other pages to include it basically within your web, if you will. Content lead makes notes on the same Google Doc for internal links to add to this page. Okay, so adding internal links from this page that's currently in editing to another page is easy. You just hyperlink the text in the Google Doc. When you paste it in Shopify, the internal link is already there. Okay, however, adding internal links to this page not as straightforward, right? You can't just add an internal link in a Google Doc and it magically updates in Shopify later on. So at the top of the document, we have a notes section for internal links. And basically it says it's linked to the Google Doc and the live URL that we're going to link to. Like, so let's say page ABC needs to link to page 123, okay? We'll link page ABC up top. We'll link the original Google Doc, which is stored in our Airtable, and we'll make a note for the VA. Sentence number 3, edit these words, add this internal link with this anchor text, okay? Then when we get all to the publishing part of this page, VA will publish the content on Shopify, and it'll go to that other page, add the internal link to the page, done, okay? Number 8, all that happens in kind of lockstep there. Step 8, send the Google Doc URLs to the client. They review, make edits if necessary. Client spends, I'd say, 1 to 2 hours a month on review. Step 9, client approves. We update and build all the pages in Shopify for them. Client does not have to lift a finger. 10, internal links are added, right? I just kind of ran through that process. After the VA actually publishes the new page, they'll go back and add internal links to that page to make sure it's connected within the web, okay? Step 11, new URLs indexed. All new URLs are submitted through our internal indexing tool. Pages get indexed in a few hours, not a few weeks if you just rely on Google's level of indexing right now, okay? We can get pages indexed as fast as a few minutes. It really depends on the, I would say, volume of pages we're doing, okay? Step 12, client notified. Content lead sends live URLs to client in Slack, okay? So let's say we built 25 pages in a month. They get all 25 live URLs right then, already indexed. 13, sprint is finished. Move on to the next client or on to the next sprint for that client, okay? As I said, we've done 100 of these in a month. We usually reduce our level of human editing if we're doing that many. On average, we do, I'd say, probably 15 to 25 per month for a client. More in the first few months, less as we start to kind of reach the limit of all the keywords we can target, right? Number 5, last tactic here, update your main menu. This kind of goes on to the internal linking we talked about earlier, but add all critical money pages to your main menu and homepage. This will immediately give them a boost. Use drop-downs in your main menu to add more elements without destroying UX, okay? You don't want to have some ultra massive mega menu that people can't use or have no idea how to use, so use drop-downs to get a little bit creative with spacing. Some of the quickest wins we've ever gotten for clients have been simply linking to key pages from the main menu and or footer and or even the homepage, okay? Build out a simple menu, wireframe and Miro or Google Docs. They approve and we update for them, okay? We don't use any fancy software to build this out, think like back of the napkin type wireframe stuff. Client approves, our developer will go and actually update it in Shopify, push all that live, okay? Pro tip, audit your site architecture. Page is further than 2 to 3 clicks away from the homepage. Update its depth to move it closer to the homepage. Depth from homepage is a direct ranking factor. If you build a page and it is deeper in the architecture, let's say 5-6 clicks away, it is considerably less important than any page that is 1, 2, 3 clicks away from the homepage, right? If I have to go farther to get it, or Google has to go farther to get it, they have to spend more energy to get to it. Thereby, you've deemed it to be less important simply based on its positioning, okay? So if you built a collection and you're like, why is it not ranking? I've optimized it, I built internal links, all that kind of stuff. We'll check the damn architecture, okay? Guaranteed it's probably too deep. Could be backlinks, could be authority, could be time in the game, but oftentimes, this tactic is one of the easiest wins you'll get, okay? Now, if you want all 5 of these tactics done for you and you're a Shopify brand doing at least $1 million a year in revenue, book a discovery call with me in the link below, and I'll talk to you there. Peace.